Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Morning Heart Devotion. To start off, let's offer a greeting about our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. 천진 참부모님께 경배. 바로. And now to lead us through the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 장부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상 세계와 대상적 지상 세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 혁신화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 자녀극 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Milhan Stevens. And now to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite up Charlotte Kiluba. Charlotte Kiluba.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly, beloved true parents, thank you very much, Heavenly Parents, for this new day. We are so grateful that we can be alive and have this opportunity to come together to receive your love, your education, Father, this morning. We are so grateful that you never give up on us. Even we are trying to be away from you, Father, but you are giving your heart, you are giving us your hand to really put us close to you, to embrace us, to let us know you are our Father. Thank you very much for all the love you pour on us every day. And we are so grateful that we can feel the support, the work of a true Father in the spiritual world and the true Mother in the physical world. We really understand that true Mother is giving herself a lot for the world. She has given rebirth to the world. She has given herself to really embrace the world, Father. We are so grateful to live this moment, this special time of a human being on earth. Thank you very much for Dr. Yong, who is giving himself to touch our heart, to really show us how wonderful Father uh, is true parents. We are so grateful that we can understand clearly that you are suffering. Your sorrowful heart is really, Father, incomparable. We understand that coming here, we are not coming to remind you the story of suffering. We are coming to promise, to show you that we are mature. We can take responsibility. We are here, Father, to heal your heart. We are so grateful that we can understand this. And we say thank you to our all ancestors who made this foundation that we can be able to meet true parents. We can be able today to understand the position of your heart and your desire to transform the whole world, the entire universe, because Father, this was lost. We didn't understand that our small portion of responsibility can make this 100% to live the kingdom of heaven on earth. But at this time, we truly understand, like you are waiting, that we can accomplish our small portion of responsibility, that we can heal your heart. Thank you very much. We want the blessing upon all our brothers and sisters gathering here in America and around the world, Father. No matter what time they will watch this morning devotion, please bless each one of them. Thank you for everything. We want to uh, give ourselves at this time, our attention, our heart, so we can receive your education this morning. This can help us to make one more step in our life. Thank you very much for everything. And we offer this moment together with my brothers and sisters gathering here in my name, Charlotte Kiluba and Prosper. Bless Santa family. We offer this prayer. Aju.
Aju. Aju. Thank you, Aunt Charlotte, for offering such a beautiful, powerful, heartfelt prayer to start us off today. And with that, we're going to go into our breakouts now. So just take a moment to think about what you're grateful for, what you're grateful for this morning. It could be anything from the past year, week, or even today. Share with whoever you're paired up with, and we'll be back here to share with everyone else. We'll see you all in 6 minutes. 7. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back from your breakouts. I hope you had a great sharing. I see some smiles here, so happy about that. Actually, yeah, I was in a breakout with three people: Dr. Gilda, Susan Pfefferman, and Keiko Farah. I'd like to first call on Susan Pfefferman. If you could please unmute and share with us your gratitude points this morning.
I woke up this morning just feeling that God was my sweetheart. Because sometimes you get a sense of how happy he is when we do good things, the right things, kind things, loving things, even the little things. And yesterday, my husband was suddenly asked to give the sermon because the sermon giver was ill and Dr. Shu was out of town. And so instead of going to visit another church in the morning, because our church is in the afternoon, I stayed and helped him and made sure that he had everything he needed because it was less than 24 hours to prepare. And then when I prayed before going to sleep at night, I just felt God smile that by taking care of my husband is just as important as going out to churches. So I just felt his tender love. Taking care of our family is not always a priority, but loving our spouse and making sure they feel cared for is on the top of my agenda now. So I really appreciate God's love and direction because I do get answers when I pray. Thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Aunt Susan, for sharing with us your gratitude. Next, I'd like to call on Keiko Farah. Keiko Farah, if you please unmute and share with us your gratitude points this morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm so always afraid to that MC's group to share it. That is my little bit fear to sharing. But God gave me this morning to sharing everyone. So I'm so grateful to little by little to understanding about the God is my parent, and also I'm also appreciate for that Christianity to their lay the foundation for God's providence to 2000 years from the Jesus Christ. So I'm so visiting the church, and each minister I'm right now is open up my heart to love that how much God prepare for them. This meet the second advent. So so that is my also grateful to that kind of opportunity to be in the church to further 40 years lay the foundation of this America. And also right now I'm started that praying for special grace. And yesterday the morning I had a dream, and that the dream is that I lost that cell phone. So then I couldn't find that connect to everyone, and especially my son. So I felt that one is God want to. I didn't talk up to my son about the special grace, so he doesn't know about how much important this providence. Then my friend Q.A. Parkerson translate to my dream. Then it was I have to talk to my son. I started with my husband yesterday, but I didn't start with my son. So then God want to that the special grace is everyone to join, even though connect to the church. But this is to mother, it gave us the special opportunity to all that the family to join together to condition to give that to mother want to everyone to come back and bless the blessing to God's love. Thank you. That is today my appreciation. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Keiko-san. Thank you for sharing your gratitude. All right. Feels like we've already had a lot this morning, but we have our main message prepared for us. Once again, Dr. Yong is still traveling, but he'll be back soon to be more settled and live. But today we have a recording that he has sent in once again as well. So let's prepare our hearts and minds to receive our Continental Director, Dr. Chonshik Yong.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, and clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? Today, I'd like to talk about God's ideal family and the kingdom of the peaceful ideal world 1 from True Mother's Anthology, Volume 2. Let's start.
God's ideal family and the kingdom of the peaceful ideal world 1. Respected world leaders, what do you think God's ultimate purpose is for creating human beings? Simply put, it is to experience joy through relating with ideal families filled with true love. What does an ideal family look like? First, each person in the family is an owner of true love. When God first created human beings, he made Adam representing all men and Eve representing all women, with the intention that they become owners of true love. The quickest way for them to cultivate a character of true love was to secure a parent-child relationship with God, whereby they could live in attendance to God as their parent. They were to have followed the path of living as one family with God. I invite you to enter into a mystical state and prayerfully ask God, what is the center of the universe? I am sure that the answer you hear will be the parent-child relationship. Nothing is more important or more precious than relationship between parent and child. This is because it defines the fundamental relationship between God, the Creator, and human beings. Then, what defines the parent-child relationship? 3 things define this relationship: love, life, and lineage. Without our parents' love as a precondition, none of us would be alive today. God created us out of absolute love to be partners with him in love. This relationship forms an axis of love, linking God the parent with human beings as sons and daughters. Is there anything higher or more precious than to be a son or daughter of God? If anything were higher, then surely human beings would aspire to attain it. There is nothing higher. Do you think that when the omniscient and almighty God created Adam and Eve, he secretly reserved the highest position for himself and made Adam and Eve to be only second best? We cannot imagine that God would do that to his children, partners who were created to share absolute love with him. As our eternal true parent, God invested 100% into our creation and endowed us with the right to have equal status with him, to participate in his work as equals, to live with and to inherit from him. God bestowed upon human beings all of his own attributes.
Yes. What do you think God's ultimate purpose is for creating human beings? Simply put, it is to experience joy through relating with ideal families filled with true love. First, each person in the family is an owner of true love. He made Adam representing all men and Eve representing all women. with the intention that they become the owner of true love, the quickest way for them to cultivate a character of true love was to secure a parent and child relationship with God, whereby they could live in attendance to God and as the parents. I invite you to enter into a mystical state and prayerfully ask God, what is the center of the universe? I am sure that the answer you hear will be parent and child relationships. Nothing is more important or more precious than the relationship between parent and child. And let's study through Father's word that the relationship between God and human beings is a parent and child relationship. Let's study.
God is my eternal parent. What is the origin of the universe? It is parents and children. I realize this through prayer. My parents and me, the relationship between parent and child is the origin of the universe. So what is the relationship between God and me? God is the Father, and I am the Son. We are the sons and daughters. The ultimate essence is the parent-child relationship, and this is also the greatest goal. Therefore, that we must go in search of that relationship.
Yeah. The most important realization is in our course of life is to know what the root of the universe is. The root of the universe is that the relationship between God and me is that of parents and children. By realizing this, our course of the life begins. True Father said it took 5 years to get the answer through discussion and negotiation prayer with God in order to know this. God is my eternal, unchanging, absolute, and only parent. And I am God's eternal, unchanging, absolute, and only child. Therefore, the relationship between God and me is an eternal, inseparable relationship of faith. My brothers and sisters, it is really incredible truth. How many people believe in God? How many people that they know that was the fundamental truth between God and me? It is very, very clear. Father said, I after discovered this truth, and then the rest is nothing. Once the find out the fundamental truth, then the other rest is nothing. Because based upon this parent and child relationship, and can research here and there, based on the concept of the parent and child relationship, Father was really, really happy after he realizing this point. Living divine principle. Again, the eschatology and human history 1 introduction part. Let's study.
Eschatology and human history. Human history. We dwell in ignorance of history, uncertain about its origin, the direction in which it is heading, and its final destination. Concerning eschatology, or the doctrine of the last days, many Christians believe literally what is written in the Bible. The heavens and the elements will melt with fire. The sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven. And the dead in Christ will rise to meet the Lord in the air. However, we must ask whether these events will take place literally or whether the verses are symbolic. To address this issue, we should first understand such fundamental matters as the purpose of God's creation, the meaning of the human fall, and the goal of the providence of restoration.
Let's study Father's word.
Our inevitable destined path. The Bible says that those who seek to die will live, and those who seek to live will die in the last days. This is the paradoxical conclusion. Those who seek to die will live, those who seek to live will die. It says that our enemy is in our home, not other places. This is the main ideology in the Bible. When you pray for your sons and daughters first before your nation and the world. Not only Christian or other religious members, but also Unification Church members pray like this. We have to restore the world first, then the nation will be restored automatically. This is the inevitable, destined path which we have to follow.
Yeah. In the last day, those who want to die will live, and those who want to live will die. If we want to sever satanic habits, traditions, and family-centered blood ties and follow true parents and the new truth, you cannot separate Satan unless you have the desire to die. Not easy to really separate from Satan, right? You need to prepare to die. Otherwise, how can you cut off Satan's blood tie? Will the satanic habits that have been passed down for 6,000 years disappear just overnight? In order to block my way, Satan uses weapons centering on family blood ties. That's why the Bible says that the enemy is not in another place, but in your own family. In the last day, unless you deny everything that has already existed, even your own family, you will not be able to walk the path of the heaven. Matthew chapter 10, verse 36 to 39 say, a man's enemy will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. Oh, now this is to really cut off the relationship with the family. In the Bible, it also says, so do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. My brothers and sisters, it is only after you first seek the kingdom of God that you have your own sons and daughters and your own family. This is what we call the inevitable path of the destiny that our lives must take. In the last day, we really have to be careful about that. No, Satan really attacked through our family ties. So now is to get off from that kind of family relationship and put God first. Put new truth first. That's why our senior blessed couple, I really respect all of them, really, even though they're kind of the situation struggling to leave their home and need to deny their own father and mother, follow the God's will first. It was not a simple matter because they laid an incredible foundation. Our descendants, much easier now, right? In the beginning, they paid so much indemnity. Many people misunderstand them. Many people persecute them and insult of them. Can you imagine about that? Continue.
This is the era of the realm of common destiny. We have already passed the era of the individual, family, and tribe. Now we are entering the global era. As history progressed, many nations came into existence. But this is not the time for nations to protect their boundaries, because we are entering the era which protects all nations in the realm of common destiny.
Yeah, I think this is a very important guidance given by Father. If we look at the present time, it is a time when the individual age, the family age, the tribal age have passed, and we are heading toward the global age. It is said that the era of the numerous peoples and countries setting up their own borders and protecting only their own country has passed. In other words, we now have entered an era in a country cannot sustain itself unless all nations in the realm of the common destiny. If you look at the world now, you will see that one country's problems become the world's problem, right? You can see this from the economic hardships around the world because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. How much serious it is, right? Now, externally, the world already has all the environment to form one great family under one God honors. However, the problem is that they do not have the ideology to become one. That is why we must take this responsibility. Now, no matter what you do, if you do not think with the vision of the world, you will surely feel the limit, not only in the external economic aspect, but also spiritually and mentally. In that sense, it is said that if United States does not live for the sake of the world, it will surely be pushed out in the global era. Really great time has come. Now, era of the globe. That's why we need to think always world. We always think all mankind. Even though I do some small thing, we need to think that this is for the sake of the world, for the sake of the all mankind. We need to have that kind of global mindset. All mankind, belong to God's sons and daughters. They are all my brothers and sisters. We need to have that kind of that kind of concept as God, as true parents. We need to embrace entire world, not just only think about my own city, my own state, not just only my own nation, right? So, one family under God. And then Messiah came, to create one family under God, beyond nationality, beyond color, beyond any ideologies. Already externally, there come the environment already has come. Now, internal issue. Who can bring the unity? Even though environmentally, externally came that kind of the era, and who internally, artistically, we can make one family under God. Only unification thought, only divine principle, right? My brothers and sisters. Today's youth ministry, I am substantial form of God's wish. This title itself really gives me big impact. I am the substantial form of God's wish. Very powerful title. Let's start.
I am the substantial form of God's wish. What kind of person am I? I am the substantial form of God's wish. Then, as the substance of God's wish, what notion must I have to fulfill God's wish? It is myself who must clearly know and embrace God's wishes and circumstances, and internally know and experience God's heart. When I realize this, I am born again. The spirit world will guide you all. In order for the foundation of faith to be established, it is to realize right away that I, as an existence, am the substantial form of God's wish. I must know for sure that I am not who I am because I wished to be. And to achieve that, we must wake ourselves up and resolve to become filial children and filial daughters. However, the reason why we do not have the foundation of our faith is because of our past habits and fallen nature. And it is because we are easily influenced by the environment and lose all the words that moved us. So eventually, the fire in our heart will go out.
Yeah. The purpose of the creating Adam and Eve was for God's honest desire for them. So what we need to know is that we must know that we are beings who were born because of God's desire, right? Then what's God's wishes? It is precisely for human being to fulfill God's purpose of creation, namely the three great blessings. Therefore, we must know right away that all human beings were born and exist in order to fulfill God's three great blessings. Because I, as an existence, is a substantial form of God's wish, I can never live centering on my own desires. Once again, this is a very important point. Because I, as an existence, is the substantial form of God's wish, I can never live centering on my own desires. If one lives centering on their desires, it is an act that goes against God's wishes and purpose of creation. Therefore, in order to achieve God's wish, you must never center on yourself. In order to achieve God's wish, we must always live with God's wish in our hearts. God's first wish is for me to become a filial son and daughter, a true person, a perfected person, and a person who resembles God's personality, right? The second desire of God is to become the true husband and wife, form an ideal family, and attend God in our family. God's third wish is to expand the ideal family and live by governing all things in nature that have formed the tribe and people and nation and world with true love. Then how can we fulfill God's wish in detail? It is to know God's will, wishes, and circumstances, to embrace them in our heart, and to know, experience God's heart. If anyone has a heart of the filial piety to fulfill their parents' wishes, the spiritual world will guide them and help them come through, because they are the one who have the really longing heart to fulfill God's wishes, God's dream as the children of God. As long as you have an attitude of the filial piety, filial heart toward heaven and the spiritual world will do the rest. In order for the foundation of faith to be established, I must realize right away that my existence is a substantial form of God's wish. I must know for sure that I am not who I am because I wish to be. And in order to achieve that, we must awaken and resolve to become filial children and filial daughters. Next.
Don't speak carelessly of the grace you have received. What should we do to overcome ourselves who are easily influenced by the environment and easily loses the word? First of all, you shouldn't carelessly say the words you have received grace from. You must be mute. You must treat the words of grace like gold and silver treasures. If you boast that you have gold and silver treasures, it is easy for people around you to seduce and steal them. Satan is trying to take it away. Therefore, you must be a mute who stores precious words like gold and silver treasures in your heart and silently puts them into practice. Just the fact that you have precious words like gold and silver treasures within yourself is a blessing and reassurance. However, while having relationships with friends horizontally, if you carelessly talk about the words of grace, you will be attacked. Therefore, for the time being, the words of grace must not be spoken to anyone horizontally. It is because your lamp goes out when you look at it horizontally. Once the light in your heart goes out, no matter what you wish you have, it will be difficult for your wish to come true.
Yeah. However, the reason why we do not realize God's desire and become self-centered is because of our past habits and fallen nature. And it is because we are easily controlled by the environment and lose all the what we were moved by. So eventually the light in your heart will go out. If you live self-centeredly, the light in your heart will surely be, extinguished. Then what should we do to overcome ourselves who are easily influenced by the environment and easily lose the word? First of all, just now already mentioned that you shouldn't carelessly say the word you have received the grace from. You must be mute. You must treat the word of grace as like a gold and silver treasure. If you boast that you have gold and silver treasures, it is easy for people around you to seduce and steal them. Satan is trying to take it away. Therefore, you must be a mute and who stores preciously words like gold and silver treasures in your heart and silently put them into practice. Just the fact that you have a precious word like a gold and silver treasure within yourself is a blessing and reassurance. However, while having the relationship with the friends horizontally, if you carelessly talk about the word of the grace, I will be attacked. Therefore, for the time being, the word of the grace must not be spoken to anyone horizontally. It is because your lamp goes out. When you look at it horizontally, once the light in your heart goes out, no matter what wish you have, it will be difficult for your wish to come true. Okay, final slide.
The reason your wishes don't come true. After the light in your heart is extinguished, nothing will go as you wish. No matter how much you know the principle, it is useless. The principle of knowing and realizing with knowledge is useless. Therefore, you must accept the principle and the word with your heart. By digesting the principle heartistically, the principle must become your driving force. Once you do that, the spirit world will guide you. If you have such a foundation of heart, the truth that you have realized rationally will be directly linked to your heart. For people with good backgrounds, what they have learned intellectually is directly connected to their heart and affects their personality. However, it is not possible because of bad self-habit and fallen nature. You shouldn't leave these habits as they are.
Yeah.
Fallen nature is a habit.
Yeah. Thank you, Heavenly Honey. If the light in my heart is extinguished, nothing will go as I wish. To say that my light has gone out means that my heart has sunk. Once your heart sinks, you don't know how difficult it is to lift it up again. That's why we must always manage our heart well, so as not to put out the light. In order to rekindle the once extinguished light of our heart, we must make 2 to 3 times as many effort than we did in the past. Therefore, you must always accept the word with your heart. You must meditate on the word that touched your heart over and over and again so that they can settle in your heart. All the words that are not accepted into the heart will flow away. The word that I understand only intellectually is not the strength of my heart. And soon my heart will only dry. The second way is very important here. Second way to raise my heart is to do a lot of the volunteer work for others. If you help or serve others, the heart that died without knowing really comes back to life. You don't know how happy your original mind is when you serve others. So you have to keep giving to others. You should always think about what to give to the other person and how to please the other person. Our hearts are always meant to be resurrected when we do something helpful and serve others. If we want to help and serve others, you must really have a desire to help others from your heart, and you have to be really, really sincere. Of course, it does not work that way at first. You have to try to do it, conditionally in the formation stage. Even it is a conditional, if you do it with all your heart, it will come out. Please remember, everyone, it is a fact that your heart comes alive when you serve others, living for the sake of others. For me, this is my own personal testimony from young time until now. How can really rise my heart? How can my heart is always alive? Yeah, what just now I'm talking about. Really serving people. Always giving something for others, helping for others. Whenever I condition to make someone happy in giving something for others, I cannot express my heart, my original mind is so happy. Immediately recover my heart. That's why people, our original nature, when we live for the sake of others, we can feel incredible joy and happiness. That's why human being does exist, to live for the sake of others. That's why when you're serving others, when you're giving others, when you sacrifice for others, really stimulate your original mind so much. This is the way keep alive your spirit all the time. Aju, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yong. Thank you, Dr. Yong. Key phrase for today was to keep the light in your heart aflame. To do whatever it takes to just keep it aflame, even if it's just to keep any grace that you have to yourself. Thank you, Dr. Yong. And now we're going to go on to our living testimony. A few days ago, we heard from Reverend Goldberg on his experience at the Cheonshim, and you saw a photo of someone with him who looks similar to him. Well, we're hearing from Serge Brosso today, some people say Sergey Brosso, to share his 7-day experience at the Cheonshim in Las Vegas. So let's welcome up Serge. You're muted, Serge.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We can see and hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, great. So let me try to go to my screen here. Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes, we see it clearly.
Okay. So now, okay. So thank you, Rashfred. Indeed, as you said, we heard from Reverend Matthew Goldberg a few days ago on Saturday. As a matter of fact, he did give a great testimony, and I would just like to add to his by sharing some of my insights from attending the 7-day workshop in Las Vegas at Cheonshim, which means the Garden of God's Heart. And this was from March 5th to the 12th. And so what happened to me is that I went to Las Vegas to bless my ancestors because there was a great workshop on the 4th and the 5th. And actually what happened is that there was a big snowstorm in Toronto. My flight was connecting with Toronto to go to Las Vegas on the 3rd. And so all the flights were canceled. So I missed the first day of Great Works. But I got there in the evening. And I just want to mention that I want to give credit to my wife, who has been pursuing the liberation and blessing of our ancestors. So thank you, Melissa, for that. And so there I was at IPEC. And even though I was late and I missed the first day of Great Works, I connected with Bruce, our good brother Bruce there. What is his family name again?
Grodner.
Grodner, that's right. Yeah, Bruce Grodner. Thank you, Rich Fred. So yeah, actually, when I had dinner with Bruce, such a good brother, and when I was with him, he was concerned for his mother. Because he had to leave her behind to come to IPEC, and she passed away a few days later at 95. So condolences to him. But also just want to mention, we saw his son there, Preston. He is in Peru with GPA, so God bless him too. So of course, Chan Shimwan True Parents Home in Las Vegas is a beautiful site, and True Parents' vision is to turn a culture of self-serving into a culture of giving. Most importantly, True Parents spent True Father spent the last big part of his last 5 years in Las Vegas, so it is a very significant place. And of course, Las Vegas is an amazing place. It's a center of entertainment for the world. And every year it welcomes 40 million visitors, but it also has beautiful creation all around. And so when I was there, I took many pictures of sunrises and sunsets because, Nevada is the driest state in the US, and it has few clouds there, although we see clouds in this picture, but there are not so many clouds. So we see beautiful sunsets almost every day. It's beautiful. And I love these palm trees, coming from Canada. It's just beautiful. And not so far from Las Vegas, from downtown, there is beautiful sites such as the Red Rock Canyon, which apparently True Mother really likes. It's a park over there. And so when we were there on the first day, on the Sunday afternoon, we had the lectures from Dr. Hyun Kim. He gave 2 lectures, one on the Providence in Las Vegas and one in the Providence in America. Dr. Hyun Kim has spent a lot of time, many years in Las Vegas. And so he shared with us, for example, he shared some of his experiences, one particularly when True Mother in 2017, she told him that she wanted to speak at Madison Square Garden. And what he kept hearing was Manhattan Center. So he kept hearing Manhattan Center. Mother was saying Madison Square Garden. So she had to insist to him that it was not Manhattan Center that she wanted to speak to, but Madison Square Garden. So finally he got it. But of course, it was kind of like an impossible thing to accomplish. But with Damien Dunkley and the unity with True Mother, it was possible, and not only there, but also in Long Island the year after 2018, and New Jersey 2019. So it only shows that we all need to unite with True Mother's vision, True Parents' vision, not just our own thinking. And so also, we had the 2 lectures from Dr. Kim, and we had 12 lectures from Dr. Compton. And of course, Dr. Compton is one of our most experienced lecturer. And I really felt that God was speaking to me through him. And he shared many of his personal experiences that illustrated divine principle. And one of the emphasis of his lectures was on spirit world. We also had lectures from Dr. Katsumi Kambashi from Vancouver. Dr. Kambashi speaks fluent Korean and has been studying True Parents' words for the past 30 years. And he shared with us his insight on True Parents' word in 6 different lectures that we heard from him. We also had a great lecture from Reverend Chung. Here we see a picture of True Mother when she last came to Las Vegas, and that is when she offered the True Parents' bedroom to make it a prayer hall. So there we see her with being welcomed by Kwon Junim's couple. But Reverend Chung spoke a lot about the Providence in Chan Shimwan, and he talked about his brother, for example, who is his older brother, who was already in spirit world. He passed away, he had cancer, but also his brother has resentment because he didn't have such a good relationship with his wife and his children, and he needs help from Reverend Chung, from his younger brother. And so Reverend Chung tries to help him by offering wish papers. And that's one thing he does for his older brother. And he shared things like that and different testimonies of people being healed through Chonshim-won. This is the True Parents' bedroom that was transformed into the prayer hall, the prayer room. This is where we went many times to pray. And when we think about it, True Mother is on the earth. And her mother, Daimonim, is in the spirit world. And her husband, True Father, is also in spirit world. And her two sons, Hunjanim and Yojanim, are also in spirit world. So when we go to the prayer hall and in our prayers, we can really connect to a lot of spiritual power when we go to the prayer hall at Chonshim-won. And one of the couples that lives in Las Vegas is our beloved brother Akira Ota and his wife, beautiful wife Yoko. And Akira was my classmate at UTS, so I know him a little bit. And he shared with us that, he was a state leader in Norfolk, Virginia for like 16 years. And then he came to Las Vegas for Famicom. And then he decided, he had a revelation then that his family should move to Las Vegas. So they did. They left Norfolk and they moved to Las Vegas. And so he struggled for 6 months because he couldn't get a job over there. It was a difficult time, but finally he did get a job. He did get a job, and now he's managing a Japanese curry restaurant in Las Vegas. We some of us went to eat there. But also he shared that he had a big struggle. They had a big struggle to match their oldest son. Their oldest son was rejected 5 times by different sisters. So they were kind of losing hope, but they kept praying. And finally, a Japanese sister showed up out of the blue from Japan. And so their son now is will be blessed soon with her. And so they're very happy. And what Akira says is that nothing is impossible with Chonshim-yong prayer. And he really has very strong prayers. So we really appreciate him there. So every day there, we do Chanyang. We do clapping twice a day for 30 minutes, following a video on screen to separate evil spirits. And here we see our beloved Matthew Goldberg sharing a testimony, sharing some inspiration, because after reading Cheonsong-gyeong for an hour at morning devotion, we share our inspiration together, and then we go to the prayer hall to pray. So many people shared at different times in the morning and in the evening. And also, I want to mention that members of the Las Vegas community participate in morning devotion, which goes from 6 to 8 over there. And here we see Tom and Grace Solover, who are now living in Las Vegas. They moved there in January, and they lived in Korea for the past 9 years, but now they are a part of the Las Vegas community, which is growing all the time. And actually, they have their Sunday service at the IPEC now. One of the participants was Takayo Holmes, who came from Los Angeles. She is now the co-pastor of the Los Angeles church, and she came for 3 days. She couldn't stay the whole time, but she also shared a testimony there. She's our mentor in Montreal for witnessing, so we really appreciate her. And actually, on the Friday morning, we gathered in the prayer hall, and we actually connected with Chonshim-won in Korea, the prayer hall at Champyeong. And so we could see what was going on at Champyeong in the prayer hall over there. There were hundreds of people attending night vigil there for 3 hours. They were, reading God's words and praying and sharing testimonies. And so Dr. Tanya Edwards, we see her back there, and also Tom McDivitt shared testimonies that the people in Korea at the Chonshim-won in Korea could hear. So we are the Chonshim one in Las Vegas is directly connected to the one in Korea, and so we could communicate together. And here is Tom McDevitt sharing his testimony to the brothers and sisters in Korea. Many second gen were there in Korea, actually, at the prayer hall. And Tom was with us most of the time during the 7 days. He had to go away for a couple of days on business, and he came back. But he shared with us that he often feels overwhelmed by the many responsibility that he has to fulfill. Among them, of course, being the chairman of the Washington Times, but many other things that he has to take care of. He feels overwhelmed. So he came to the 7 days to find clarity. So we were very happy to have him with us. And as Matthew mentioned, at the end, there was certificates that were given to all the participants. Dr. Tanya Edwards, who was there for the whole 7 days. I was concerned for her because we were doing clapping and all that, but she was right there with us, very inspired herself, and she shared the congratulatory words with us at the end. And also I want to mention that we had delicious food made with a lot of love during those 7 days, and this is the kitchen staff. And this is our own Sanmo Borman that I talked to on morning devotion many times. She gets up at 2:00 in the morning. She participates in morning devotion online with Dr. Yong, and there she is sharing about their experience cooking for us. So we feel a lot of love there. Our last meal we had, like in True Mother's tradition, bibimbap in a big bowl, so we could share from that all together. It was delicious. And this is a group photo at the end. There were 25 participants attending this third 7-day workshop. In February, there were 18, I was told, and in January, there were 12. So it's open to everyone to participate. It's just a wonderful place to go to. And so the next one is going to be on April the 2nd to the 8th. And so I encourage everyone to go if you are available to participate. In my case, I had 7 days. I had a week off from work, so I could participate. So here I will stop sharing. And just want to mention, so it was a great experience for me and for those who participated. And Chonshimwan in Las Vegas is like a mini Champion, and it's a beautiful site, and we can connect with Mother's Heart very deeply there. And just want to say, of course, we have one in Dallas, and every region will have their own Chonshimwan. And on April 9th, we will inaugurate the one in Canada, in Toronto, and Dr. Kim is coming to Toronto, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uncle Serge, for giving us the play-by-play, everything that happened there, what you can expect if you go to Chonshimwan. So, as you heard from him, April 2nd to the 8th, that's this Sunday, so you might as well have already bought your tickets. But this Sunday till the following Sunday will be the next workshop, Chonshimwan. Thank you, Uncle Serge. And with that, we're going to go into our breakouts now. So just take a moment to think about what Dr. Yong shared today in morning devotion, as well as the living testimony you just heard. Share whatever came up to you, and we'll be back here to share with everyone else. We'll see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a great sharing in your breakout. I had a great time with Christine and Natalia, as well as Adelina. I'd like to first call on Christine and Natalia Tadden to share with us their reflection from today's morning devotion.
Good morning.
Good morning,
everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to share. We're reunited here in Florida with the Tadden family. We were separated for a month. They were back in Canada, and now they're back with us here in Florida. We're really grateful for that. And the words that resonated with me today that I want to share is how to overcome ourselves. So if we treat the words of faith like gold and silver treasures in our heart and put them into practice. So that's what I'm going to meditate on. Being silent, being like a monk, and really meditating on those words. And I was really touched by True Father meditating for years on concepts, like 5 years on a concept for it to become a truth. And then he so willingly shares it with all of us. I feel his love by that effort, and just so freely giving of himself that way. So I'm grateful for this information. Thank you.
And I like the point about just serving and how our heart comes alive when we serve, and how important the word is to connect our heart and to inspire us in the first place, but to serve is to put that into practice, to put the word into practice. And my mom was always saying that if I'm having a hard time connecting just through listening to the word or through conditions, and the thing that I'm missing is to serve other people and to put it into practice. So that was my takeaway today.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Natalia. It's good to see you back. Next, I'd like to call on Idalina Kunz to share with us her reflection as well.
Okay, so as I reflect on this morning devotion, there's a lot of things to take out. And unfortunately, my husband is not been attending the morning devotion with me like he did for until the end of maybe middle of September. And so I've been practicing a lot of being silent because of his Parkinson's disease. Sometimes he go on these periods of mute attitude. He doesn't want to communicate so much. So I've been studying a lot divine principle and keeping just saying what it needs to be said at the right moment, and loving and serving him instead of lecturing him. In the beginning, I was lecturing him, why you don't do this, why you don't do that. And so, because actually this is not part of God's wish. God created us with a purpose to become filial children, to become ideal families, and also to dominate the creation of the things around us with love. And so by reflecting this, I try to serve not only him, but Christian churches where I'm going. I volunteer for the food program at one church. Yesterday, I decided to bring some donuts for this small church, and we were blessed to. We invite the pastor and the wife for lunch, and they said they couldn't attend, but then somehow God worked mysterious ways, and the wife came to Panera Bread when we had invited one brother to celebrate the blessing anniversary. So we ended up meet, and I had a chance to testify about my matching and blessing he never heard about. about so much about Father Moon. But and then he shared her heart and told a little bit about her story, how they were a very successful family in business, and then they became pastors of this interracial and intercultural cultural church. So they want to melt all the races, cultures together. And even everybody told impossible for them to realize this kind of church in Memphis. Through their love and through their service to the community, finally they bind together two churches, white Baptist church and African American church, and they worshiping together. They have two worship services at 9 and 11, and we've been attending, and there's great unity with them. They sing together, they preach together, and this is really inspired because everything is in line with what Father taught us, to bring the culture of the races together through our blessing, and also to make strong families. That's also their goal. They having seminars for bring unity among the families who have different difficulties and issues. So I was very inspired by that. Thank you. That's my reflection today. Sorry, I went a little long.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Delina. Thank you for sharing. All right, now we're going to go on to our announcements. And the first thing, as always, is if you're inspired, feel free to invite people, your family, your friends to joining on this morning devotion experience. We don't know how long morning devotion is going to go for, so while we can, just invite anyone that you feel might benefit from this. And also, if you'd like to donate, you can do so by clicking the link in the chat, as well as clicking the link in the description of the video. All proceeds goes towards supporting the production of morning devotion. And finally, if you want to offer a song, so we're going to have a musical offering soon. If you'd like to offer a song, leave a legacy on morning devotion musical offering, you can contact Tal at TZORER@unification.org. And also, you can contact her if you'd like to offer the opening prayer as well. And with that, actually, we're going to go into our musical offering. And today is Monday, so some of you may be able to guess who it is. It's Mark Mondays. Let's welcome up Mark Hanlon from Worcester, Massachusetts. You're on, Mark.
Yep, it says unmute myself. Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here with you all. I got this song, but when we started the condition, I thought, well, maybe a more serious song would be better. So, but I prayed about it last night, and the answer I got was, well, you already prayed about it before. What are you asking me again for? So I'm going to just do this original song, and it's a lighter tune. But I thought of it because, well, this song is called "Still Not Dead," and so nowadays, people, my age, I'm 70 years old. Oh my gosh, and I have so many of my friends and those who church members who I work with so long, and who are getting older, or many have passed away, but fortunately I'm still able. And back actually when I was in the seminary, we graduated in 1981, and when we graduated, you know what our nickname was? The Cemeterians. So they called us the Cemeterians back there. And so, Tom Ward and Don Archer and Helio Roman, who are on this call, that's what they called us, but we're still here. So, okay. So this song is called "Still Not Dead." It's a revised for morning devotions for Willie Nelson. Woke up still not dead again today. The internet said I had passed away. If I died, I wasn't dead to stay. I woke up still not dead again today. Well, I woke up still not dead again today. Talzor did not find me that way. I can't believe a word that people say. And I woke up still not dead again today. I ride up and down the road, making music as I go. They say my pace would kill the normal man, but I've never been accused of being normal anyway. I woke up still not dead again today. I woke up still not dead again today. The news said I was gone to my dismay. Don't bury me, I got a morning devotion song to play. And I woke up still not dead again today. I ride up and down the road, teaching the DP as I go. They say my pace would kill a normal man, but I've never been accused of being normal anyway. So I woke up still not dead again today. Last night I had a dream that I died twice yesterday, but I woke up still not dead again today. Still not dead.
Wow.
Prosper.
I'm glad you're still alive. I'm glad you're still alive. Wow, that's an awesome name, Cemeterians. Just embracing it. Thank you, Uncle Mark, for just bringing the joy to today's morning devotion. Yes. All right, now to close out in prayer, can I ask, let's see here. Akemi-san, do you mind closing us out in prayer?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's pray. Most beloved Heavenly Parents, thank you to parents for the day, new day, and this morning devotion, all the communities. Thank you again for the song that made us so bright this morning, and also thank you for the testimony that made us bring back our heart towards true parents. And thank you, Dr. Yong, for the devotion every morning. And please guide us, and please protect his health, and please protect true mother's health. And we truly thank you. And I pray in my name, Akemi Joseph, blessed entire family. Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu. Thank you, Akemi-san. And thank you all for joining today's morning devotion. Thank you, Dr. Young, for today's message as well. Hope you all have a wonderful, great start to your week, and keep staying alive. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rest Fred. Dr. Young. Thank you.